I want to welcome everybody this evening to graduation. A couple of things of business that we need to take care of. The exits are well lit, and you know where they are. The bathrooms are out the door to the left in that hallway. There's no smoking on the grounds whatsoever in the parking lots or out front. After graduation, there will be a reception in the hallway. There'll be some food and a reception for everyone. Also, the graduates will be lining up on the outside of the auditorium, in the auditorium, for you to bring envelopes with money to give to them. Oh, okay. They're expecting that. Cell phones, we ask that everyone please turn off your cell phones, and so that if you're taking pictures, that's fine, but please take your ringtones off so that you do not disturb the proceedings. One of the things that is going to happen at graduation is that everyone loves to take pictures. All of the graduates and all of the families will receive a picture of them receiving their diploma on stage at no cost, and we will be shipping that out to you. So we ask that if you're going to take pictures, please do not crowd into the hallway, into the aisles, because the photographer will be taking the pictures for you and they will be available. We also took a group picture earlier, that's why they were here early. We're also recording, all of the proceedings, and will be on channel 2. So there are microphones throughout the building or throughout the hall, so please be careful because it's picking up the music. These little microphones are here and next to the cameras as well. So unless you want everybody in the North Country to know some of your opinions, please be careful. Okay. And I think we're going to start with our proceedings, so I will turn it over to Lisa, the principal.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome the North Country Charter Academy class of 2018. Will Bonnie Ballantyne please come forward?
Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Gentlemen, please take off your caps. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, please put on your caps. Thank you.
Thank you, and be seated. Welcome to the 14th commencement exercise of North Country Charter Academy, and special welcome to the members of the Board of Trustees, our commencement speaker, Christine Brennan, Deputy Commissioner of New Hampshire Department of Education, and honored guests, Executive Counselor Joseph Kenny, Chuck Henderson, Jean Shaheen, Special Assistant, Brian Bresnahan, Congresswoman Annie Custer's Constituent Service Representative, Representative Brad Bailey, Representative Troy Murner, State Board of Education Kate Cassidy, school district supporters, and to staff, family, friends, and especially greetings to the graduating class. Each of you honors us by your presence, but none more than those graduating today. We celebrate your achievement, and we admire you for reaching your goal of obtaining your high school diploma. We are extremely fortunate that we have a non-traditional path to obtaining a high school diploma in the North Country. North Country Charter Academy was founded 14 years ago by 10 school district superintendents and their school boards. Today, it continues to be supported, and this unique relationship must never be taken for granted. Our success is a direct reflection of this. Thank you for this collaboration in recognizing the need for a creative learning environment for all of your students. I'd also like to thank Sue Pelot, Littleton Opera House manager, for working with us in hosting this special event. This beautiful venue, historical landmark of Littleton, and we are proud to have the event taking place here. In addition, I would like to extend a special thank you and a great appreciation to my staff members for everything they do for our students every day. All of them play a special role and have contributed to the success of the students on stage today. All of you, thank you, thank you. Would you please rise as I call your name? Jim Hicks, Scott Kelly, Scott Kleinschrodt, Amy Manhart, Kathy Meddings, Gary Melanson, Kim Spalding, Janet Steinert, and our on-call go-to guy who never retires, Pat Kelly. Thank you all. I would like to recognize a member of the Board of Trustees who will be leaving us this year after having served on the board for many years. Brent Holt. Although he was unable to attend today, we want to recognize his service to the Academy. Brent is a special education director at White Mountains Regional School District. He has served on the board for the past 3 years. Brent has been a true asset to our school. He has been instrumental in moving us forward in our strategic planning. He was so sincere and focused his governance decision, always keeping the students in mind. He brought innovative ideas and creative solutions, especially in the field of special education. His contributions are greatly appreciated. I'd like to say thank you to him. This is such a special day for all of us. We are proud of these graduates sitting before us. This year, we have 33 graduates, all who have worked very hard at reaching this goal, all who have at some point overcome huge obstacles. I know each of you never gave up, no matter how hard life seemed, no matter how challenged it was. You remained committed and determined to reach this goal. You have become part of our history, and as of today, we will have graduated a total of 499 students, serving in over 45 communities in northern New Hampshire, reaching across 4,000 geographical square miles. And I know this is something that I mention every year, but with New Hampshire having 9,300 square miles, North Country Charter Academy serves nearly half the state. We continue to be a mission-driven public charter school focused on achieving results. These graduates have met our high standards and expectations and have successfully completed our rigorous program. Class of 2018, I would like to share with you a quote that I came upon in my travels, and I hope you will leave here today remembering it as I have. Life is like a camera. Focus on what is important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And if things don't work out, take another shot. Congratulations, class of 2018. It is now a great pleasure to introduce to you our chairman of North Country Charter Academy Board of Trustees, Attorney Ted Comstock. Ted has been involved with the charter school since it was established in 2004, providing support and expertise. Upon his retirement as the executive director of the New Hampshire School Boards Association last year, he returned and joined the board once again. Thank you for your interest, expertise, and commitment, Ted, in instilling excellence in our school. Attorney Ted Comstock. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to chair the NCCA Board of Trustees, and it's truly a privilege for me to attend and be part of this graduation tonight. I am able to witness firsthand the smiles that we saw on all of our graduates. Did any of you ever see them walk slower than that, by the way? It was very good, but they rehearsed that Friday afternoon. They really did. And also to see the great pride of the parents and the friends that are gathered here tonight to celebrate this wonderful night. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we wish these graduates great happiness and great success. We applaud you for taking this path to obtaining your high school diploma, and we encourage you to heed the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. You're going to hear a lot of quotes tonight, I suspect, but this is really a good one. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's great advice, and I hope you follow that very carefully. The Board of Trustees would like to thank Principal Lavoie and her staff. You heard the names earlier. This academy could not work without those very dedicated educators, and we really appreciate all of their work. Also, I want to acknowledge my fellow Board of Trustees. Several are here tonight. Would all of you stand and be recognized for the great work that you do for the North Country Charter Academy? Please. Thank you very much. These individuals work tirelessly on behalf of the Academy with the principal in setting the policy and the financial affairs of the Academy, so I really appreciate all your dedication and service. And they only are paid $100,000 a year, so it's really selfless. No, it's somewhat less than that. It's sort of like zero. So thank you for all for being here. Now I want to shift gears, and it's my pleasure to introduce our welcoming speaker, and that is State Executive Counselor Joseph Kinney of Wakefield. Counselor Kinney has served in the Executive Council position since 2014. And actually, I was doing a little research on this today. He represents Executive Council District Number 1. And I believe, and he can correct me if I'm wrong on this, that it's the largest geographic area of all the districts in the state. At least as I look at it, it's from about Plymouth north as I kind of looked at the map. And it goes east as well. So I'll bet you that your car doesn't stay cold very often. A little bit about Executive Councilor Kinney. He grew up in a small business family and continues to live in Wakefield with his wife and 2 children. He attended Spalding High School in Rochester. While at Spalding, now this is amazing. I want you to think about this. Real life story. While at Spalding, he hitchhiked 20 miles to basketball practice to play on the varsity team, and not in the spring or the summer, during the winter. Wow, what commitment that is. He later graduated from the University of New Hampshire, majoring in history and minoring in small business management. After traveling around the world through a college program, he joined the United States Marine Corps in 1980, and after 37 years, he retired as a Marine S2 officer with the 25th Marines at Fort Devens, Massachusetts. In February of 1989, he was honored at the White House by the President of the United States for his work as an enlisted Marine stationed in Washington, D.C., and for collecting over 100,000 toys for needy kids. He is a veteran of 3 conflicts: the Persian Gulf War, the Iraq War, and Afghanistan War. He has a long history in state elected positions in New Hampshire. He served 14 years in the New Hampshire legislature, serving both in the House and the Senate. So it's my honor to have you join me in welcoming the Honorable Joseph Kinney as our welcoming speaker.
Thank you, Ted. Way to put me on the spot. First of all, welcome. And congratulations to the class of 2018, to the North Country Charter School, its parents, its staff, its community leaders. I obviously need to recognize a few folks here this evening. Our Deputy Commissioner of Education, Christine Brennan, and our State Board of Education member, Kate Cassidy, who represents all of the North Country and is local and does a wonderful job on the State Board of Education. Obviously, Lisa Lavoie, who does a great job as our principal here at North Country Charter School. And to the Board of Trustees, to our federal representatives, and to our local state legislators. Welcome to you all, and I'm truly humbled and excited to be here today. But this day wouldn't be without a few people. As this school was established 14 years ago, my former colleague, who's now has passed on, Raymond Burton, was instrumental in the start of the North Country Charter School, along with the 10 districts. Without the 10 districts, obviously the New Hampshire Charter School wouldn't be here today. So we thank everybody who was involved at the beginning and the ground up with regards to the charter school. There is a saying in the Concord circles that there are many charter schools across the state of New Hampshire, but there's only one charter school that is the best charter school, and that is the North Country Charter School. So with that, since we're passing out quotes, I'd like to pass out to the graduates of 2018, Horace Mann. Horace Mann was the founder of public education, and he said, "A human being is not attending his or her full heights until he or her is educated." And so I want to congratulate the class of 2018 in reaching your heights today. And remember that education doesn't stop today, it's actually the beginning. So there will be other life experiences, other educational opportunities, both at home or at work, that you're going to continue your education, and that simply today is a wonderful day to acknowledge your diplomas, but it also sets the foundation for your future. And with your future, many of you might go on to a trade school, a 4-year school, a community college. Some might go into the military, which I think is one of the most honorable services that you can participate in. And along the way, you're always going to remember that you have the support of your parents, your community, the North Country Charter School, and obviously from your executive counselor. So with that, I welcome everybody here this morning. I'm awfully excited to hear the keynote speaker and the rest of the program. Thank you so much.
Councilor Kenny, on behalf of all of us here this afternoon, we are honored to have you welcome our guests to be here celebrating our success. I believe I can speak on behalf of all of us graduates here today that we're glad we didn't have to walk 20 miles to our practices. Councilor Kenny, as a token of appreciation, we would like to give you a gift and acknowledge that you have not missed a charter school graduation since office. We appreciate your support.
Right out here. 4,000 square miles the North Country Charter School covers. I cover about 5,500 square miles, so we have a lot in common.
You know, I've got to give Mike an awful lot of credit. At practice, the principal sprung this on him. Right, Bob?
About 30 seconds before I walked in the door.
Outstanding. Thank you. Plus, I harass the principal on every year at graduation when she mentions 4,000 square miles and all of that. But she forgot we also have graduates from Vermont as well. So we've had a number of students from Vermont that have come here as well. Okay, now we will proceed. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our first speaker, Bonnie Ballantyne. Bonnie? I will be right here.
I would like to thank all the people who stood by me to help me to push forward. This support came from both inside and outside North Country Academy. I would not have graduated without the charter school. It takes hard work, even blood, sweat, and tears, and persistence, and never giving up. Being at NCCA was a positive experience. It made me more confident in myself. No one has to graduate or get a high school diploma or a GED. There's always the option of not having a high school education. This is each individual's choice. We live in the U.S., we have free choice. I chose to work for my diploma. North Country Charter Academy is willing to give all students a chance to get a diploma. The students come from all walks of life. Some students have disabilities, some don't fit into public schools, and others may just want to graduate early in order to pursue college or work. North Country Charter promotes a positive academic environment. I would like to thank Mr. Hicks, Mrs. Spalding, Principal Lavoie, Mr. Williams, Mr. Scott Kelly, and Mr. Kate, and most of all, a huge thanks to my parents for pushing me to make sure I didn't give up. Also, a big thanks to my caseworkers, Stephanie and Sarah. Thanks to all my friends, family, and animal friends. All of the NCCA graduates should be proud of themselves for getting this far. I graduated. I'm so enthused and happy and relieved. Hugs and thanks to everyone that was there for me. Thanks to all. Hello world, here I come.
They are nervous when they come up here to speak, but it's their choice, and they did an outstanding job. Now, Laura Lee, why don't you come on down? You're all set?
I want to thank you all for coming here this evening. I'd like to start by saying thank you to all of the Charter Academy staff for supporting me through tough times and pushing me to get my work done. Before transferring to the charter school, I thought I was going to be a high school dropout, and I was unsure of my future. Within the past year, the Charter Academy has taught me perseverance and provided me with the skills I need to be successful. I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for the support of my mother and my boyfriend. They supported me through difficult times. They helped me, including my teachers, to fight my mental illness. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing here today on stage. I want to support those who have mental illnesses to know that they are not alone, and for my family members to support them every step of the way and fight for them. Today, I have accomplished one of my goals, and now it's time to go on to the next. This is where adulthood hits you, and now it's time to get a job, go to college, and find a cheap apartment to make ends meet. I wish the best for all of you, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Congratulations to my fellow graduates. I think you all deserve this diploma for your hard work and effort. Thank you.
Now I would like Mark Gagnon to please come up. Mark is a parent. Just wave. I didn't want you to stand up, but just wave to make sure that you recognize whose dad this is. Just wave. No, wave to the audience so they know. Okay, there you go. He didn't want to stand up, so it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Gagnon, and I'm the proud father of Jared Gagnon. I won't be long. I just want to express my gratitude to the Charter Academy. First of all, I want to congratulate the students on their graduation today and their diplomas. It's a significant achievement. It's job well done. Just keep building your building blocks, okay? Thank you very much. Early on, Jared was diagnosed with a disability. I'm not going to get into the details, but some people may consider it a gift. Jared has a very significant, very good memory. Like he tells me, he says, "Dad, I have a memory like an elephant." I want to give you an example. When Jared was younger, he used to read to me, and he used to come up and he used to say, "Hey, Dad, can I read to you?" And I said, "Sure." And this one particular night, it was Dr. Seuss, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. I think we all, for most of us anyway, know the story. And he was probably 15 minutes into the story, and I couldn't hear any pages or anything. And I go, "No, he's not doing what I think he is." I turned around and looked, and he didn't even have a book. He had been reciting this story in detail, just like he was reading it. I mean, I was amazed. I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and I can't do that, And so, just to give you an idea, it's some people consider it a gift. Anyway, Jared was enrolled in public school early on, like his two older brothers. And after the first year, I decided to, me and my wife decided to homeschool him. The school he was in, it was a very good school, small school, had limited resources, but me and Jenny decided to homeschool him. And we also enrolled him in, our church had an academy. Although it wasn't in the Berlin area, it was a distance away, we just decided to enroll him in the academy also. A couple, 3 years ago, the church moved and they discontinued the academy. My two older boys had already graduated, but there's my son, on homeschool, and my wife and I both work full-time. Most of his stuff was done on a computer or self-paced program, but he still needed support in regards to his the more complicated subjects like his algebra, his English, his geometry, and in order for him to achieve the level of graduation. I wasn't quite sure what to do. I considered maybe hiring a tutor. I considered maybe enrolling him back into public school to achieve that. And I'm not exactly sure where Jenny got the information in regards to the charter school, but she ran it by me. I said, Lancaster? All right, sure. We'll do whatever. If we can get him into it, that'd be great. And from Berlin, it's a distance, but it was not going to be an issue. Just getting him into the academy was the hard thing. So we enrolled Jared, and we were interviewed, and I wasn't quite sure we were going to make it or not. And at the end of the interview, Mr. Kleinsrode, Mr. Kelly asked me if I had any questions, and of course I had to ask him. I said, well, what's the payment process? How does that work? I mean, how much does it cost? And he goes, well, it's already covered. I pretty much fell over backwards. I go, wow, this is covered? And I can't tell you the gratitude I have for the Charter Academy. I mean, look at my son. He's graduating today. The acceptance, the encouragement, the support, the education. He was even talking about going to college. Charter Academy, thank you very much. Thank you.
Joshua Gay, come on down, Professor.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Good evening. My name is Joshua Morris Gay, and today I stand before you, a graduate of North Country Charter Academy, class of 2018. It's hard to believe we made it so far, but yet they are still just stepping stones to a longer journey just around the bend. And as the world is ever changing, so are we. We are no longer children, no longer naive, and just a little wiser than we were just a few months ago. And now, with life waiting over the horizon, I can finally taste accomplishment with a side of bitterness. Bitterness because the grass isn't greener on the other side. When you become an adult, you make the money you need and by miracle grow. But I feel accomplished because of where I am, where I've been, and where I'm going. I feel accomplished because I'm graduating with some amazing people. I feel accomplished because I had Mr. K, wherever he is, Mr. Kelly, and also other Mr. Kelly as my teachers who believed in me every step of the way. But finally, I feel accomplished the most because of the people who are sitting in these stands, friends, family, and the people who just came to watch us because they know the feeling of greatness just like we are feeling today. And watching me accomplish something I really thought I'd never do, but not only me, but the rest of the class that I'm so happy to call my friends. So I just want to thank you. Thank you to my friends, thank you to my teachers, and most of all, to my family. Thank you for being my rock through thick and thin. Thank you for showing me how to be a man and how to succeed for the past 18 years, and I'm going to show you I can do it for another 50. Yes, there will be success, but there will also be failure. And it is up to you whether you want to push through it or not. Success consists of going through failure, to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill, thank you.
Hey, Josh, the family out there, right?
Yeah.
Is that yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Outstanding. Mr. Kleinsrode, would you please step forward?
Good, good evening and welcome to today's graduation ceremony. It's an honor to address everyone here, and I would like to begin by congratulating the graduating seniors of the class of 2018. Though the road taken by these deserving individuals may not have been the traditional path of others, they have arrived here nonetheless with flying colors. Congratulations. I would like to take a moment to give this deserving group of individuals one last piece of advice, and quite frankly, this is something that we could all apply to our everyday lives. We have the opportunity to get an education and make something of ourselves. We have many reasons to hope for the great happiness, but we have to earn it. And that is something you can't achieve by taking the easy way out. Earning happiness means doing good and working, not speculating and being lazy. This was a quote from Anne Frank, and it is as true today as it was in 1944. If you want to make something of yourself, have the courage to dream big, but also have the wherewithal to see it through. Set goals, work hard to achieve your goals, and never give up. And in the future, I hope to meet you again and hear your stories of success. Finally, I'd like to share with you a few verses from Tim McGraw's song, Humble and Kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around. Help the next one in line, always stay humble and kind. With that said, I wish the best for all the graduates today and would like to thank all of those who have supported our charter school for the past 14 years. Thank you.
I think what makes this graduation unique is that many of our students and parents get an opportunity to share what they feel about where they're at and the pride that they have. And one of the quotes that I've always used is, "As I think I am, as I act I become." And they are believing in themselves again. And you can see that, and you can see that in the speeches. So I'm going to read one speech or one thing from proud parents. And I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Quinton Knowles for writing this address at graduation. They asked if I could read it, and I'd like to thank them for sharing their thoughts with us, and it's a pleasure for me to read this. And just wave your hand. Come on, you can tell by a shaking of the head. I'm going to have to go over there. He's one of the other big guys that is in the class and so forth. Where do we begin? And this is how they feel about you, young man. First and foremost, we want to say congratulations to our son, Cameron Knowles. We are very proud of you and everything you've accomplished and the fine young man you have become. I bet you never thought the day would come that you would be walking down the aisle and across that stage be handed that diploma. But here we are, you did it. You should be proud of yourself. We want to thank everyone at the Charter Academy for helping Cameron get to this day. Without the school and your support, we don't feel Cameron would have gotten to this day. Cameron was a struggling high schooler that had given up. He no longer wanted to finish high school and wanted to drop out and just go to work. And then a shining light came to us, and a friend told us about the school. We set up an appointment, talked to Mrs. Lavoie. She talked with Cameron, set up a program based around Cameron's needs. No more IEP, and Cameron could do the things at his own pace. Cameron smiled at us and said, "I think I can do this." And he still smiles. "I want to go to school. I want to graduate." He was finally getting up, going to school, coming home with a smile on his face. And those of you who have had teenagers, that's tough. He would be so proud to come home and say, "Hey, Mom, I finished a class today. There's one credit done." He was finally enjoying high school and getting things done. It filled our hearts with joy. We also wanted to give special thanks to Mr. Hicks and Mr. Melanson for being in the classroom every day and giving Cameron the support he needed when he was stuck or just having a bad day. You had bad days? Okay. And giving him the push and letting him know he could do it. We also want to thank the school for the amazing scholarship that was presented to Cameron. to be able to purchase proper boots, clothing, to continue his future as a logger. Words just cannot express our gratitude to everyone at this amazing school for helping us give the honor of seeing our son graduate today. For this, every one of you will forever have a place in our hearts. Thank you for being such an amazing school and amazing people to guide our children. And I bet you Cameron has those boots on. And now, Jenna Poole Bresci.
I've lost my voice this week, so please bear with me, and I'll try not to cry too much. My son happens to be Lucas Poole. He's that lovely fellow in the back, dying of embarrassment with that lovely Air Force sash. But today, I want to share his success story. We learned that Luke had dyslexia when he was in the 1st grade. By that time, he'd already repeated kindergarten. He's been in the 504 programs, the IEP programs, and along with that, he's been every summer preparing for the next school year. The poor kid never had a break. We began homeschooling him in the 3rd year. Homeschooling allowed him to work at his own pace and take more time in the areas he had more difficulty in. Luke wanted to attend high school, have that high school experience like his siblings. So we enrolled in the local high school, and he had to repeat 9th grade. He enjoyed school, but it was frustrating. He wanted to graduate at his normal time. He'd be 20 years old by the time he graduated, and he had plans. He attempted to earn credits to move ahead, graduate sooner, but it created a large frustration. Again, studying all summer long, school all year. It became very overwhelming for him. Through a coworker, I learned about the North Country Charter Academy. It sounded like the right spot for Luke. The North Country Charter Academy allows students to work at their own pace. The classroom environment is more relaxed, and they get more one-on-one time from the teachers due to the low student-teacher ratio, which was really good for him. Again, sorry, no voice. The students work online, and they have offline. Luke started North Country Academy in the fall of 2017. And he graduates to you today doing 3 years of credit. In a year, but as he likes to correct me, it was 8 months long. Today, June 2018, and he gets to follow his dreams that he's had since he was 8 years old, to join the military, to join the Air Force, like the rest of his family. So I just want to say thank you to the Country Academy for allowing my son to attain what I knew he could do, because he could be anything he wants. I love you, Luca.
I would like to re-invite Attorney Ted Comstock, Chair of the Board of Trustees, back to the podium to introduce you to our commencement speaker, Mr. Attorney Comstock.
Some things are very difficult to follow, and those speeches were very difficult to follow, weren't they? But very heart-touching, and again, just shows how grateful I am and everybody in this room is for the North Country Charter Academy. On behalf of the North Country Charter Academy, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Christine Brennan, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Education for the state of New Hampshire. Now, this is not on my script, and I don't want to embarrass the Deputy Commissioner, but she reminded me when I greeted her as she came in that she was in a class of mine, a graduate level class of mine at Plymouth State. And I promised I wouldn't tell you what grade she got, as long as she promised not to give me an evaluation in front of all of you. So I wanted to share with you that personal story. Christine Brennan was sworn in as Deputy Commissioner on October 16th, 2017. Her role as Deputy Commissioner is to provide overall leadership and management of the Department of Education in implementing its many services, including managing the internal operations of the organization. She began her career in the Manchester School District in 1987, teaching first grade at Wilson Elementary School. She remained in that role for 20 years and then worked as a literacy specialist from 2007 to 2010. She then served as assistant principal at Wilson and Jewett School Elementary Schools before serving at Beach Street School in the same role. She had been principal at Beach Street School since March of 2014. During her tenure at Beach Street School, she did some amazing things, particularly in the technology area. She oversaw renovations that included modernizing classrooms of generations ago and moving students and faculty into the academic model of instruction, creating small schools within the larger school to enhance personalized learning and relationships. Her overriding goal as Deputy Commissioner, which is very laudable, is to make sure children across our state receive a quality education. That's something we all share. Deputy Commissioner Brennan received her bachelor's degree in early childhood education from Bridgewater State College, a master's in reading and writing from Plymouth State University, and this is where I ran into her, I believe, and a certificate of advanced graduate studies in education leadership from Plymouth State University. So it's my personal honor to welcome Deputy Commissioner Brennan to give our keynote address. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
All right. To the North Country Charter Academy graduates, Lisa Lavoie, staff and attendees, thank you for allowing me to be involved in your graduation and speak with all of you today. On behalf of the New Hampshire Department of Education, I would like to congratulate you all for making this day happen. For 14 years, the Academy has offered students from numerous districts and high schools and in more than 40 communities in 2 states another opportunity to strive for success. Your focus on personalized and blended learning is a sight to behold, and the results are seen here today with your graduates. It is inspiring that one of the oldest charter schools in the state continues to emphasize high standards and expectations of its students. When I visited the Academy in the spring of this year, I was impressed by what I saw here, helping students to gain confidence, to embrace learning in different environments so they could build bright futures for themselves, whether that is in a traditional college setting, a trade school, or service in our armed forces. I want to share with you a story about my life that led me on the path that I am here today. Something I never would have known at the time, and I'm hoping that you'll gain some clarity and maybe some inspiration as you move forward from today. When I was a young girl around junior high, I was living in Massachusetts. Both of my parents worked, and I was a little lost, unsupervised, and unengaged in school. And I won't get into the specifics, but I'll let you all imagine, in your imaginations roam, what that was like. And so one day, while hanging outside of an elementary school, a woman came up to me, and she approached me she came from inside the school, outside, approaching me, and she said, "What's a smart girl like you doing outside of an elementary school, loitering and smoking cigarettes?" the woman said. And I was a little bit surprised for her use of the word smart. How did she know I was smart? And then I thought for a second, well, maybe she means the other definition. So with all the attitude in the world, as I exhaled the cigarette, just like a punk, I turned and I asked her, "And who are you?" And she replied, "I'm the principal of the school." I said, "The principal?" I asked. I said, "I didn't know that girls could be principals of schools." And it was in that moment that I was no longer a punk. I was an innocent child, and I was in awe of a woman that could be a leader of a school. And that was something I had never, ever seen before. And it was that moment that I decided education would be in my future. I began to put more effort in my schoolwork, I paid attention in class, and I started to set goals for myself. So flash forward, I became a teacher in New Hampshire, and this was about if I had to be honest, 30 years ago. At the beginning of a school year, I attended a ceremony for an outstanding teacher, and to my surprise, in walked a woman who looked eerily familiar to me, and I did a double take. It was the same woman I had encountered at the elementary playground in Massachusetts so many years before. And now she was the Deputy Commissioner of Education, Elizabeth Toomey. So I approached her, and she didn't recognize me, probably thank heavens, and I reminded her of the story that she played, the role she played in my life to bring me to the point that I am today. And she thanked me and went on with her presentation. And later I continued my education, and I earned a certification to become a principal in an elementary school. And after serving in education for 31 years in the highest poverty district in the state, I was appointed by Governor Chris Sununu to be the Deputy Commissioner of Education. I want you to imagine that for a moment, all of you. I want you to imagine that. A girl lost, in trouble, without a purpose. And I had a chance conversation with another person, a leader, and her life and my life was instantly changed. And what I learned from that experience was that it was the small moments that make a difference. To all of the graduates that are here today before me, I want you to take a second right now to reflect back in your moment that inspired you to change your educational pathway and become a student at the North Country Charter Academy. It is the significance in that moment that you opened your heart and you opened your mind and you became the outstanding graduates that you are today. Make sure that you reach out to that person, the person who made a difference in your life, and you thank them. And as you leave here today, find future role models and become them. Lead. Change the life of others. Live in the moment and be present all the time. And always be open to learning and new ideas. If you follow this simple path, you will succeed in everything you do and everything you encounter, as you have done so today with your graduation day. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you.
Is that yours? We are going to get it together, aren't we? There it is.
Deputy Commissioner Brennan, on behalf of us here today, we would like to thank you for being our keynote speaker today and for acknowledging our success. Your leadership and contributions to education are truly admirable. As a token of our appreciation, we would like to give you a gift, and we look forward to your continued support.
Come back. They want to take a picture. You gotta look at the camera. Okay, here we go. Ready? Dress them up. Take them out. Before we continue, everybody stand up for just a second. You need to take it's hot up here under these lights and so forth, so they needed just to stretch out for a moment. Everybody okay? All right. Okay, now sit back down. Attorney Comstock.
Thank you very much. As chairman of the North Country Charter Academy Board of Trustees, it is a great honor to help present the Chairperson's Award. This award is given to a student from the Lancaster site and to a student from the Littleton site who have overcome significant obstacles in life while maintaining the commitment to achieving a high school diploma, a student who has not given up, who improved greatly in self-confidence and self-esteem, a student whose life has changed greatly as a direct result of the charter school, and a student who we are confident will succeed in the next steps in his or her life. Will Center Directors Jim Hicks and Scott Kleinschrott please come forward to help present these wonderful awards. Gentlemen.
Thank you. As adults, we constantly are giving advice to young people in regards to how to be successful in life. We stress to them that they must take responsibility for their actions and work to the best of their ability. We ask that they dedicate themselves to worthy causes and to stand up for what is right. We ask that they be honest with both themselves and with those around them. We let them know it is all right to make a mistake as long as you learn from it and take steps not to allow the same mistake to happen again. As teachers, we constantly try to impart these life lessons on the young people within our midst. Every once in a while, however, a young person comes along who can teach the adults a few life lessons or two. The student from Lancaster who is being presented this award this evening has had to overcome obstacles in his school career that most adults cannot even fathom having to deal with. The word perseverance describes this young man to a T. He has taught all of us to never give up on ourselves and that through hard work you can accomplish almost anything. He is truly an amazing person who has a very bright future in front of himself. I am proud to present this award to Derek Rogers.
This student came to North Country Charter Academy in the fall of 2015, needing 16.5 credits. She came in with some challenges which affected her attendance, academic confidence. However, when she came back on a regular basis, her confidence and academic abilities blossomed. This young lady became very persistent about accomplishing each and every academic task. Her dedication and persistence paid off because she has completed her graduation requirements. This student's confidence in her overall abilities has steadily increased so that now her graduation day is a reality. I am certain that she will carry this work ethic and perseverance into whatever she pursues after today. This year's North Country Charter Academy Chairperson's Award for the Littleton site goes to Bonnie Ballantyne. I would like to re-invite Principal Lavoie back to the podium.
Thank you, Jim. It is a great honor for me to introduce to you Bernie Prochnick, Chairperson of Raymond S. Burton Legacy Foundation. Bernie is very familiar with Councilor Burton's involvement in his admiration for this school. I'm so pleased Bernie could be here today, and I'd like to invite her to the podium to say a few words and present this gift to two deserving recipients, one from the Littleton site and one from the Lancaster site. Bernie Prochnick.
First of all, congratulations to the class of 2018. A job well done. And thank you, Lisa. It is such an honor to be here today. In 2013, in this very building, the late Executive Councillor Raymond Burton, who had never missed a single graduation ceremony, was asked to come to the podium for a special surprise. The Board of Trustees and the staff of the North Country Charter Academy had announced to him that they were hereby declaring that day the proclamation of an annual Raymond S. Burton Recognition Award to be given to a student annually at the North Country Charter Academy graduation ceremony. A student who possesses qualities and traits that symbolize all of the work he has accomplished as a public servant. It is a great honor to be able to participate in this ceremony by recognizing these recipients and to provide them with a cash award to help further their future plans. This year's recipient from the Lancaster site joined the school in the fall of 2017 and from the beginning showed the staff that he was coming to the Charter Academy with the goal of making a better life for himself, his family, and his community. Though the student moved around the country quite a bit in his youth and his teens, he found a home at the Charter Academy and was able to put down roots and apply himself in his studies. At the same time, he volunteered at his local high school in the library and was heavily involved with a social justice project at the school. He is well thought of by both his teachers and peers, and he understands the value in giving back to the community. Through his efforts in both school and home, he demonstrates all the qualities that Ray Burton valued in a person. If Ray Burton were here today, he would stand so proud knowing that he played a role in supporting this young man in the quest to improve our community. This year's recipient of the Raymond Burton Award goes to Lucas Paul. The recipient from Littleton site is a young lady who embodies empathy in her caring disposition towards people, and particularly to the elderly. Through her volunteer work at a nursing home, this student has gone above and beyond what most people only vaguely think about doing. She works with the activities director to provide companionship and fun entertainment to the elderly, whether those folks are lonely, disabled, or suffering from variations of dementia. Sometimes these tasks can be so daunting and stressful, but this young lady considers her work very rewarding. Her volunteerism, choking here, does not stop there. She also helps individuals out by providing respite care through her church. It takes a very caring person to help as she does and to open their heart to others. Raymond Burton would have been so proud to present this award to Bonnie Valentine. Congratulations.
Bernie, before you leave, I personally want to say thank you so much for caring for us and keeping Raymond Burton Legacy Foundation going. Your presence here means so much to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I'm going down this way.
I know it. I would like to re-invite the Deputy Commissioner of Education, Christine Brennan, back to the podium to recognize our students for their attendance.
North Country Charter Academy sets high standards for all its students, not only in its academic program, but in stringent attendance requirements as well. I admire them for establishing this standard because attendance, like all work ethics, affects every aspect of a student's success. North Country Charter Academy puts a lot of emphasis on this, and it is an honor for me to recognize those graduates who have maintained an outstanding attendance rate while attending North Country Charter Academy. For those graduates wearing green cords and those attendance rates was 100%, please stand to be recognized. For those graduates wearing red cords and whose attendance rate was 95 to 99%, please stand to be recognized. And for those graduates wearing yellow cords and whose attendance rates was 90% to 94, please stand to be recognized. Congratulations.
You know, that's one of the things that we stress is attendance, because that's one of the most important thing that you're going to have to deal with in the world of work. And these kids have accomplished an awful lot with their attendance, and even though they get their arms twisted a little bit as well. Now for the academic awards. Will Jim Hicks, Scott Kleinschrodt, and Scott Kelly please come forward to the podium.
The President's Academic Excellence Award. The President's Academic Excellence Award is reserved for that student who has shown a zest for learning and who has achieved academically far beyond what would be expected from a typical high school student. This year's recipient came to us this fall in need of 11.25 credits. She had been homeschooled for a time, and both she and her mother knew that she needed a different environment to become successful. Though it took a little time to adjust, once she settled in and started to apply herself, she simply thrived. Our goal at the Academy is to have students college and career ready once they graduate. And there is no doubt that this student is ready for her next steps in life. We at NCCA are very proud of her accomplishments. This year's recipient is Laura Lee Driscoll.
The President's Academic Achievement Award. The President's Academic Achievement Award is reserved for that student who has proved him or herself worthy of such a distinction by academically performing above and beyond our expectations. This year we are recognizing a student who came to us this past fall as a homeschooler. Though this was his first time in a more traditional setting, he thrived in his studies and he enjoyed the challenge of coming to school and tackling his coursework. This young man has a terrific future ahead of him, and with his family's support is looking forward to college and beyond. This year's recipient of the President's Academic Achievement Award goes to Jared Gagnon.
Hey, come on out, we gotta get our picture.
This student started at North Country Charter Academy at the beginning of the 2016-17 school year. She pursued 8.5 credits she needed for graduation in a precise, orderly manner while achieving high grades in all subject areas. This young lady is an excellent writer, researcher, who makes sure that all her information is accurate and relevant. She also adds an analytic, poetic ring to many of her pieces. This girl has a reflective ability that exceeds her years. In all of her academic courses, this student assesses what she needs to do successfully to complete the requirements. She makes a plan, then follows through with it until completion. This is an excellent life skill and will take her a long way in college and the work world. This year's Presidential Academic Excellence Award for the Littleton site goes to Carly Galio. President's Academic Achievement Award. This student entered North Country Charter Academy last spring, being very hesitant about any academic environment. However, what he saw he liked. He took his assessments and began his individualized program of study. Being a hands-on type of student, this young man persevered in language, reading, writing, and math. He then transformed these skills to a hands-on activity. Everything seemed to come together for him, and he excelled in all of the coursework. He made short work of the remaining 8 credits that he needed to earn his diploma. Hard work and persistence really paid off because he showed marked improvement on his final assessments. This was academic achievement at its best. This year's Presidential Academic Achievement Award for the Littleton site goes to a Vermont student, Cameron Knowles. I would like to re-invite Principal Lisa Lavoie back to the podium.
Thank you, Jim. We have 2 special scholarship recognition awards. First, will Cameron Knowles please stand to be recognized? As was once mentioned earlier this evening, Cameron is the first recipient of the North Country Charter Academy's Student Scholarship Advancement Award. Cameron received this award to help advance himself by purchasing necessary work items needed to begin his career in the sawmill industry. Congratulations, Cameron. Secondly, I am so pleased to introduce to you Bill Cushing, representing Littleton American Legion, holding 3 positions: Sergeant at Arms, District 8, Service Officer, and Historian. He will announce the recipient of a second scholarship award, Bill Cushing.
My honor and privilege to be here this evening, and I want to say congratulations, Ned Smith. I'm proud to award you a $500 scholarship for your future education. All of us at the American Legion Post 68 wish you much success in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Bill, and congratulations, Ned. Mr. Kelly?
Good. For the moment you've all been waiting for, the awarding of the diplomas. This is the big deal now. Will Attorney Ted Comstock, Scott Kleinschrodt, and Jim Hicks come to the podium and join Principal Lavoie, please? Are we ready? Row 1, would you please stand? We ready? Okay. Lauren Ashley Ainsley. Bonnie Jean Elizabeth Ballantyne. Alexia Burke. Carly Rose Calayo. Move down. Move down. Jacob Stephen Camo. Zachary C. Corliss. Riley B. Cody. Michael L. Dabrowski. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, please stand. Laura Lee Driscoll. Jamie Lee Ethorn. Matthew Ellis. Jared Richard Gagnon. Joshua Morris Gay. Brianna Hobbs. Justin Joseph Poole. Cameron Gerald Knowles. Move down, please. Be seated. Row 3, please stand. Michaela Leach. Riley McGuire, in absentia, not participating because he's in the Army already. Nicholas Paul Pay. Alexander Phelps. Lucas Bush Poole. Derek Jason Rogers. I got permission for this one. Ned Russell Smith. Elizabeth K. Stinson. Matthew Robert Thornton. Brandon P. White. Seniors, stand. You may now move your tassel from not graduated to graduates. She falling apart? You got it? Okay. Before I present to you the graduating class, thank you for joining us tonight. And please congratulate the students. There'll be a reception line around the edge of the auditorium, and there's food and reception material out in the lobby for you to enjoy and to take pictures and do what you may. So now I present to you North Country Charter Academy, class of 2018. Thank you very much, folks. Enjoy the evening. Congratulations to the graduates.